Namaste and welcome to class. And thank you so much for sitting with me with your undivided attention. And in today's class, we are going to talk about this full moon, the depths of this full moon, and how we can align ourselves with these cosmic influences. The first thing I want to remind you is that the cosmos, it does have an influence on you, but you do also have an influence on the cosmos. It's a conversation in the same way that your inner world converse with your external world, created by you. That is something that is the basic of alignment, of how we can align ourselves. Because without that acknowledgement, without that power, we are very easily taken to the superstitions of the cosmos and not really understanding the intimacy alliance between this inner, the micro, and the micro. So if you are already experiencing something that is highlighted, you are in that particular sector that correspond only to you for your growth to be stimulated. Because we can talk about the moon and the influences, but each passage of the cycles of life have a very specific sector for you, a very intimate relationship with you. So whatever you are experiencing or coming into your awareness is what is the most indicated attention to put your compassion, your relaxation, your understanding, your interaction, your word, your resonance, and your relationships. So that's why in this particular moon, I want to talk about experiences, the very core of how the experiences are born. And I give you an example. We are usually defining experience as something that the senses are feeling. Oh, I have the experience of sight. I saw this movie and I got so elevated or depressed or fear or the drama, etc. Or I heard this music, oh, the experience of relaxation, the experience of acceleration, the experience of sanctity, peace, whatever it is, that particular sensation is giving you a certain understanding or certain experience, right? So you have your five senses. You have the touch. So I prefer to be touched by this woman, by this man, by this clothing, etc. The experience of sight, the experience of hearing, the experience of taste, the experience of smell, right? But there is another experience that we just kind of let happen because it's so subtle. And this is what particular is highlighting here, is the subtleness of our world, of our universe. That is what is coming forward. So coming back to the example, if I tell you, okay, you as a student, and I witness this so many times in students, so you need to travel somewhere else. You need to take a holiday somewhere else, or spend 3 months in here, or give certain breaking certain limitations, something that the students have never done before. So that's the number one thing. What is right now in your life something that you have never done before? And it could be a simple awareness of what I am saying. So in the moment that you are, or life is proposing that to you, there is an internal conversation that arises before any action and before any experience. That internal conversation, there are three types. One is, I cannot do this. How am I going to do with my bank account? You feel threat. You feel that, the negative mind jump and say, you are unsafe. You cannot do that. And with that, then is a link to certain concept or belief system that either continues animating that and say, oh yes, I cannot do that because something will destroy in me, I cannot do it, and so on. And then you get paralyzed, you end up not moving anywhere or not doing what is the proposal of life to you. The other one is the excitement. You say, oh yes, that is so cool. I am going to travel. I can sell my car or do this, or, you see the probabilities, you see the arrangements that you trust that something can be created. But this also get very deflated, because usually it's so high and so positive and so unrealistic that you actually cannot digest that. So you end up also abandoning and saying, oh no, that I was going to, but, and then you have a conversation. And the third type of conversation that happens inside is the neutral mind. It's the one that say, okay, when, how, the probabilities, it considers the good, the bad, and makes something very calm and realistic and neutral to implement the new ways without protecting anything, without grasping anything, right? That is the neutrality. So your inner world is in that conversation that is with your mind. The mind have the intimate connection with your belief systems, with your concepts, with your cycles, with anything that is in there. And that's what I will call the origin of your experiences. Anything that is happening in that conversation that loops in your mind over and over and over is really wanting for you to take that core experience, or that the beginning, the genesis of the experience, to another level of conversation. That level of conversation, it will change totally your resonance. You are then not in the following the mind, but when you take responsibility and say, what is it that I am really thinking? What is it that I am really feeling threat about it? What is it that I am protecting? What is it that I am so excited and that agitate my nervous system? What is it? In that moment, you take responsibility for your own internal conversation. That is the value that you give to the experience. So it's the genesis of the experience through all the conversation. When life throws you an event or a conversation or a proposal or something that is new, then is the responsibility, the embracement of what is it you are doing with that information. And the moment you see that what is it you are doing, you are preventing three things. One, overreaction, because when we are being proposed with something new, then either we just blow up and we react. And we react under the patterns or the habits, the concepts that we have. That means unconscious movement and unconscious action, unconscious patterns. That's the number 2. You have the reaction, and then it's linked to the unconscious patterns that you have preset your mind and yourself to be in front of growth. And the third part is the actual action, right? The actual, when you go out of that conversation, you are in front of unconscious actions or conscious actions. The conscious actions are based in the self-responsibility. The unconscious actions is based in the reaction. I have many examples in these times, and you probably have to pinpoint in your own life how your internal conversations prepares you for the actual action that you are living, right? So let's say if my internal conversation is say, I invite somebody over, and that somebody say, well, I don't want to eat with your son, or I don't want to see your husband or something. Oh, wow. And I thought that would be nice to have all the clan together and so on. And then, no, I don't want to see this person, and family things, And then you can see, say, okay, what is my world as a witnessing of that? How I am receiving that information, because this is going to stir you. This is going to produce certain experience inside, and that's what you have absolutely control, and that's what is absolutely proposing in this moon. Is about going into the genesis of the experience. It's not about the action. And why is that? Because in any genesis, it presents a proposal, number 1, constructing a new self. Number 2, traveling in a different dimension, living in a different dimension. And you may feel separate from others that have a different way of thinking, or, the gap between frequencies are bigger and bigger now, right? But you need to acknowledge that you are already in a different frequency. If you are listening to these channels and these teachings, and you're interested in the meditation and so on, you are already embarked in the current of the new dimension. And that new dimension is proposing that you get control, or control maybe to a strong consciousness of your Genesis experience. Anything that happened within you is important, because number 3 is constructing the reality that is going to give you the feedback of that you are in a different reality. So this is what, in these delicate moments of shifting, there is not anymore about, hold on the chairs and the rockings and so on. The mind and what you have lived in the last 6 months or so was the rocking in the boat, right? And the ocean was rocking, your mind was wild, your transitions were present, you kind of navigate on that, and then you decide, okay, I'm going to take responsibility or not, or I want to perpetuate that, life is so rocky and I need to, do this and that, and you start doing efforts that only produce more rocking and waterings, the oceans get more rocky. Now this is over, sweetheart. This is good announcement, really, because the worst has passed. Even if, some astrologers and so on say, oh no, 2026 is going to be harder and things is going to... It may, but in another dimension. Your dimension is inwardly, and you have the absolute power to review what is going on inside by observing your conversation, by observing that visceral sensation that is produced in with the obsolete patterns, or is produced by the new frequency, with the proposal of new frequency. And we'll be talking more about, what these times actually you can take advantage and grow, incredible growth, like accelerating growth, exciting growth. But this is a key this month, this moon, as we shift the season, is come back to the core. Come back to your self-responsibility. And remember, self-responsibility is not, rules, obeying the rules. It's respond to that ability of you witnessing your own process. That is the genesis of your experience. Now, what it comes out of that genesis, when you have the responsibility, you have a very subtle transmutation where anything that bothers you, anything that was grasping you before, poof, it just goes out of your system. And how it goes out of the system? By producing an action that is neutral. An action that is based more in curiosity. What can I learn? How things are moving at these times. An action that is in congruence with that inner peace, with that inner responsibility. Then cohesiveness happens. Please understand me. Try to put your definition of cohesiveness and coherence. Just put it aside for a moment and listen, trying to listen to what I'm trying to say. Because the cohesiveness is in that relationship between the core experience and the joyful action where you give and discharge yourself, knowing that you have an attribute, a divine attribute, by just putting it out every day, in every word, in every resonance. That interaction, in that kind of dimension, in that kind of quality of interaction, produce one thing, and it's silence. It's sunya, is the one that is permanently in connection with that formless part of you, with that nameless part of you, that is simply saying, you are on earth to have the experience, so the wholeness, your experience, are feeding my unity, my namelessness, my peace, my everlasting expansion. It's in that moment when your experiences are valid. It's when your experiences are them contributing to the whole, are educating the whole, and are sharing and have a sense of fraternity among all the diversity, all the parts around you. So this is the proposal of these times. This is the proposal of the cycles. And this month, October and so on, the energy goes more inwardly. Not only in the north, where nature really is showing that, okay, bye-bye, I'm going to rest. But also the south will rebirth and in such a different awareness. And if we are able to gather the power of owning our own genesis of experiences, that my true and only experience is my conversations with my ego, with my mind, and with my higher self. And what it comes out as a conscious action is my divine attribute. I thank you very much for sitting with me in this class, and I want to invite you on Monday 9 o'clock to sit with a beautiful group where we can connect and have the actual practicum of these teachings and full moon ceremony. All you need is to send me a note or visit the school, and it will be there, all the teachings and the practicum. I am looking forward really to sit with you and to gather our energies together to make a difference within your own universe and the beautiful universe we are navigating. Again, thank you, and I will see you in our next class. Bye for now.